Well, Sky Sports just got even better, bringing you over 50% more sport this year with new live streams and a dedicated channel. Sky Sports Plus launches this August at no extra cost. Enjoy over 1,000 live EFL games, including every Carabao Cup fixture and every match from the Men's Super League. And if you like your tennis, we will show 100 tournaments across the US Open, ATP and WTA tours. We're live from St Mary's, though, of course. The margins couldn't be finer, nor the reward greater. Wembley for one of these sides, what if for the other? Kick-off in this Sky Bet Championship second leg semi-final comes next.
Extraordinary finish here. Oh, goodness me! What a goal! Windass! And strikes it well. Oh, he strikes it absolutely beautifully. This could finish it. And he has! Zamora! Unbelievable! He's done it! Elliott! Oh, yes! These situations are made for goalkeepers. David Hopkin looking at Cole. Oh, it's a beauty! If that is to be the one that takes them to Wembley, you cannot argue with that.
Well, it's the gift that keeps on giving, and it is the greatest time of the season. We've already got one finalist, of course. Leeds putting 4 past Norwich last night to put their place at Wembley. Tonight it's Southampton against West Brom, heading towards that final at Wembley, Sunday, May the 26th, live on Sky Sports Football. It's packed out St Mary's. It's going to be a very loud St Mary's as well for Southampton against West Brom. Kick-off in just a couple of moments' time. Curtis Davies, Francis Benali, Neil Warnock are with us here, pitch side. Now, Curtis, I know you've just come away from Cheltenham. I know you're asking questions about what next season is, but when you feel this atmosphere, you don't want to finish anytime soon, do you?
No, you never want to step off a pitch when you get this. This is what you play for. I already got tingles watching the Army score that goal in the final when we got promoted at Hull, but this is what it's all about. You know, this is again, I said it's the moment for the moment, but the lift that the fans will take from this to Wembley, if you get the win here, it's an amazing feeling.
And Francis, the atmosphere, the fans, they've turned it week in, week out. They've had to deal with the disappointment of coming out of the Premier League. Can they get back there at the first attempt?
It's the moment where you've got to step up and deliver, Pritz, isn't it? These are the moments that everyone wants to play in these big games. As players and as supporters, you want to see your team in these kind of matches. We're on home turf, we're on our home patch. It's up to us to step out and deliver to what's needed now.
What you're saying, what you'll be saying now, Neil, I mean, the noise is thunderous, the atmosphere is terrific. You'd live for this.
They've got to just say, go out and play, lads, and try and enjoy the atmosphere, because it's as good as it gets, this. Great atmosphere. I can't hear a word any of you saying, and I've just shrinked my eyebrows. Look, with the flames.
Well, the serious pyrotechnics. I mean, can you enjoy a game like this, Curtis? Can you get through it with a win under your belt and an enjoyment as well?
You can only enjoy it if you win it. That is it. You know, I had a game where I won the first leg 3-0. I lost the second leg 2-0. But I still enjoyed it because we got through to the final and we ended up winning that final. So it's all about getting over the line. You can't enjoy a moment of it. It's just about getting a win and getting out of it.
Is getting there in any way they see fit. We march on. Here's the final message to the Southampton players as they take the field. Jed Wallace, of course, leading out his baggies. It's dead end or destiny, and quite simply, the biggest game of the season so far. To take you through the fire, the fury, and most importantly, the football, Don Goodman and Gary Weaver.
Yes, thank you, David. Some noise inside here. The heat of the playoff battle. So Daniel Farke and Leeds United are waiting in the shadow of Wembley's iconic arch. Norwich City saw their season disintegrate inside 42nd leg minutes last night. Tonight, on England's south coast, for one, it will be the end. For the other, it could just be the beginning. These are the nights that footballers live for. These are the nights the playoffs were made for. A football match That means the world to tens of thousands. A match that could set a club on the pathway to millions. There is one place left on the Wembley guest list. Will it be the swagger of Southampton or the dynamism of West Bromwich Albion? Well, let's take a check on the teams for you, and Shea Adams has not made it for Southampton, but Russell Martin switches two from Sunday's first leg, and it looks like a change in formation as well. Ryan Fraser and David Brooks are the two to come in, as Russell Martin looks like he's changing from a back three to his favoured 4-3-3 system. Ryan Manning and Sekou Mara are the two to drop out. Adam Armstrong is Southampton's leading scorer with 21 goals. Flynn Downs is arguably their most important player. Well, Jed Wallace's energy and relentless running are added to Albion's front line. He replaces Brandon Thomas-Asante, who's on the bench. Apart from that, it's the same team as Sunday, so those who were taken off in that game, including Akaya Kushlu, are fit to play. Mikey Johnson's not been amongst the goals of late, but he's still tormenting teams with his runs in from the left side. Josh Marger once again misses out as he makes his way back from a long-term ankle injury. The message clear. They do not want to leave here with any regrets tonight. All of the hours of analysis, the sleepless nights, comes down to this. Wembley is secondary. This is all about a place in the Championship playoff final to become a Premier League club again, and all that that brings. And for Southampton tonight, Jack Stevens looks like he's starting at left back. Don, how important will his presence be?
Yeah, well, look, on occasions like this, you need leaders, you need characters, you need personalities, and the Southampton skipper is all of those. Look, he's got a massive, massive job, because Tom Fellows was probably the biggest danger to Southampton at the weekend. Really, really made it hard for Ryan Manning, and Jack Stevens needs to try and snuff out Tom Fellows here tonight. Speaking of leaders, characters, personalities, there's another one on the opponent's side. Kyle Bartley having his best goal-scoring season of his career, and sort of 8 of the 14 attempts on Sunday were from set pieces, and as you can see by those numbers, most of them involved him. He will be a threat for Southampton here tonight.
Well, a whole city has tried to cram into St Mary's tonight. And north of here, the town of West Bromwich will be out in force, willing their team on. The final instructions dished out. The biggest game in domestic football is waiting for one of these two. We start at 0-0. These two cup ties away, effectively, from the Premier League. This place is crackling. It has been for a good few hours now. An amazing bus welcome for the Southampton team. While that was going on, the West Bromwich Albion team bus was being held up. They won't be waiting for Southampton tonight. Albion take the knee. The message, no discrimination against anyone. The referee is Tim Robinson, and away we go. May well have turned Southampton around here. Southampton attacking their favoured end in the first half here, just like Southampton did to Albion at the Hawthorns on Sunday.
Yeah, well, look, it's all about a fast start for Southampton. The atmosphere is incredible. It's the best I've ever heard St Mary's, I've got to be honest. Incredible noise before the kick-off. Straight on the front foot there. Yokuslu just a little bit too slow. Straight from the off. So now Southampton to get on the front foot here.
Southampton attacking the chapel end of St Mary's in the first half here. And Smallbone is standing over that set piece. He's just had a word with Jack Stevens. We saw what an early set piece did at Ellen Road last night. Come a little bit closer in than this. Stevens was the intended target, with the ball nowhere near him.
It's a bit of a waste, really, isn't it? Because it is a bit of a mismatch. Jack Stevens at the far post against Grady D and Garner. both of these teams, they would have looked at what happened last night at Ellen Road, and they will have probably learned lessons. Southampton will be desperate to put West Bromwich Albion under early pressure, put them on the back foot. West Brom cannot afford to make mistakes defensively.
Yeah, Southampton will want to keep the energy, the noise inside this stadium. There's Stevens. Now Bednarek. Walker-Peters. There's Aribo. Walker-Peters has gone for the return. It's Walker-Peters. And Mowat was in the way for Albion. There's Aribo, who's stopped in his tracks.
It's interesting, isn't it? Kyle Walker-Peters is actually started on the left-hand side, so Russell Martin fooled us. But now he's come back to the right.
Yeah, he's just trotted across back to the right-hand side, so I think he stayed on the left from that set piece a few moments ago. Well, he's called on the fans to make this as hostile as the Hawthorns was on Sunday, to make this place shake with noise, to take advantage of home advantage. And the fans have answered that call. There's Kipre to Townsend. Carthy with an early decision to come for that. Southampton did do the double over West Bromwich Albion in the regular season, but Albion's performance here, particularly in the second half, really impressed Carlos Corporán. He said that was the benchmark for the rest of the season, albeit he ended up walking away from here with a 2-1 defeat, but all that has gone now.
Well, that was a real standout performance, wasn't it, in defeat. And there was another one more recently than that at Leicester's King Power. West Bromwich Albion were outstanding, did not deserve to lose that game, and they'll be looking to try and replicate those performance levels. People pointing to that away record. It's not great, but there have been some good performances sprinkled in it.
Yeah, apart from the Sheffield Wednesday defeat, it did improve as the season went on. There's Fraser dashing forward now for Southampton. Aribo into Downs. Now Stevens. This is Townsend. And there's Jed Wallace, no stranger to playing this central attacking role. Diangana runs into trouble.
Just a little bit slow in possession at the moment. West Bromwich Albion in the opening 4 minutes. Caught on the ball.
Well, Fellows have made a dash forward on the far side into the space vacated by Jack Stevens, who moved in field.
Yep, Diangana didn't spot it.
Harwood Bellis, a promotion winner with Burnley last season. Walker-Peters. There's Johnston. Now Townsend. Did make the brighter start of the Hawthorns on Sunday without cashing in. Southampton who've started on the front foot here. Fraser. There goes Jed Wallace driving at Southampton. Now Bartley. There's Kipre. Townsend.
Michael Johnson just threw his arms in frustration there. There's a couple of opportunities to pass him the ball. He wants the ball. I'm not sure he's touched it yet.
That's Diangana. Southampton's last game here was a home defeat by Stoke. They knew their fate heading into the playoffs, and Russell Martin, albeit left here disappointed that night, but I did feel this place would be re-energised for the home prove right. There's Brooks. Smallworm has made the offer. Well, Rishi Sunak, who has been a Southampton fan since a boy. His dad used to take him to the Dell. He has his seat here tonight. And there's Southampton's number 10 watching on. Running the country is important, but so too are the playoffs.
Yes, I don't really know how to field that one for you, but yeah, where Rishi Sunak's priorities are tonight, I think we can guess. Tim Robinson, referee, has already had a word with Alex Palmer in the West Bromwich Albion goal, just trying to slow things down.
Adam Armstrong, despite the Southampton protests.
Well, he's got his arms open, and I understand why, because there did not look an awful lot in that. It looked to me as if Yokuşlu actually slips and loses his footing. I don't think there's enough in that, really.
There's Bartley. Played the advantage, so he would have pulled it back for a free kick for Albion in any case, but that was risky.
Well, I've got to be honest with you, I thought that was the kind of risk from the goalkeeper. You might see it at the other end. I certainly did not think you'd see it. Alex Palmer.
He did make the save of the game in the first leg when he somehow kept out Ross Stewart's deflected effort with his foot. He's been taking care of that kind of business all season, Alex Palmer, but a nervy moment with his feet there. There's Yokuşlu.
They would have expected a fast start from the home team, West Bromwich Albion, and they haven't been disappointed. When you look at that, pretty much has all been Southampton, but a massive part of the master plan has to be to try and take the sting out of this home support. They're having none of it so far.
There's Darnell Furlong. Chance for Fellows to try and make an impression. He does love a step over. In front of the travelling Albion fans, he forces a corner.
And that's what he does really well, you know. He's either going to get a corner or likely a cross in. So it's a win-win when he goes on the outside for Tom Fellows normally. And here's the first big test for Southampton.
Well, Kyle Bartley got his head on plenty in that first leg. He normally does. Darnell Furlong's always a threat from these kind of situations too. Kipre waits as well. Looks like an in-swinger is imminent. Maybe not. Mowat to Johnston. Mowat again, he's changed the angle. Plenty of height on that. Ian Garner got his head on it, but no direction on it.
It's a nice idea, it's just way too high. Alex Mowat, really. It's just a hanging, floated one. Difficult for Ian Garner to do much with that.
There goes Aribo. Trying to set Fraser away. Adam Armstrong and David Brooks are in the middle for Southampton. Aribo again. By Yokuşlu. Fraser, now Downs. There's Stevens. Now Walker-Peters, one of those who was expected to leave here should Southampton fall in the playoffs. Armstrong was trying to tiptoe in behind Bartley there. There's Townsend. As Albion try and put themselves out of trouble, it's Mikey Johnston. No messing about in the end.
It's a good decision in the end because it all closed up on him. over 10 minutes in, and it is pretty much incessant Southampton pressure. But you look at the shape, and you look at the discipline, and you look at the distances between those West Bromwich Albion players, and so far Alex Palmer's biggest scare was self-inflicted.
Brooks has made the run in behind here. He was pulled down, but the referee was happy with what he saw. The first big call of the night for Tim Robinson.
He doesn't help himself the way he falls. It's not a natural fall, it's theatrical, and that probably makes the referee and the officials think he isn't really fouled.
Well, it was risky.
Lucky boy, I think it was Connor Townsend, wasn't it? The wrong side of.
Bednarek. First downs. Armstrong has made the run here. Albion looking for the flag, but the ball rolls out of play in any case. But a big call here.
Yeah, still having a discussion with Connor Townsend, but it's contact. He has got a hold of him, he lets go, but that fall there is ridiculous, quite frankly. I don't know when players are going to learn that if you just go down like that, swan dive, you're not going to get decisions go your way. And I promise you, I know he wants it, but had it been given at the other end, he would not have been happy.
Keith Stroud, the fourth official, standing his ground. There's Kipre. He's reignited his Albion career following a loan spell at Cardiff City last season. Looked like he'd be out the door of the Hawthorns, like Alex Mowat, who has done the same.
So this is part of the master plan from West Bromwich Albion, just to have the ball. Don't necessarily be going anywhere with it, but just keep the ball. If you've got the ball, Southampton can't score.
Kushlu. Get the free kick. Carlos Corberan has slept since the first leg because most of the groundwork was done before the Hawthorns showdown. Every Southampton throw in, every Southampton goal kick, every Southampton pattern of play analysed before that game. He was planning to potentially face a back three again here against Southampton tonight, but he's also planned to face what he's facing in this 4-3-3 system of Russell Martin's.
Yeah, I think he will be pretty pleased that Che Adams hasn't made it. Offers a whole different dynamic to this Southampton team in that final third. As it is, it's been a good start from them. Dominated possession, plenty of passes, especially into the West Bromwich Albion defensive area. Not a lot coming back from West Brom, really. As I said, most of their possession is between the defenders. But there is method in that madness.
Townsend makes the move for that. Without the ball, Albion are settling into a back five with Tom Fellows, the right winger, helping out as a wing-back, if you like. If he does play a back five, Carlos Corberan, he likes one of them to be an attacking player.
I mean, they are, without doubt, one of, if not the most comfortable team without the ball, aren't they, West Bromwich Albion?
Armstrong has made the run in behind. Adam Armstrong, and it hits the outside of the post as Brooks came crashing in.
What clever movement from Adam Armstrong, making a run from deep, reaching that back line. Really clever movement, timed to perfection. It's all about, can he pick a teammate out? Brooks gets ahead of Townsend again. He does pick him out, just can't open his foot up. He needs a glancing blow and he just gets a fraction too much on it. And it's another nearly moment for him.
Southampton are looking the more threatening in the opening 16 minutes here. right now it won't worry Albion too much. Cushly. Now Bartley. Hello, fellows.
It's the second one, isn't it? In very quick succession, and it's really unnecessary from Ryan Fraser. Again, taking as much time as they possibly can.
Well, they want to try and zap the energy from this crowd as well as from Southampton. West Bromwich Albion, who have Carlos Corberán, as we know, leading the way, and Russell Martin's described him as the best out-of-possession coach there is in the Championship. In possession, this is Darnell Furlong. Furlong again. Fellows, faced by Fraser. There's that step over. That could be awkward for McCarthy, and it was awkward, but he's dealt with it.
I think he's palmed it onto his own crossbar, hasn't he, and to help it over here. That was really awkward. Again, there's the step over. You know it's coming, but it's very difficult to defend against, and that is really awkward. He does super well, Alex McCarthy, in the end. Doesn't matter how you get it over, just get it over, and he has.
Remember whose contract is up in the summer, the Southampton keeper, Alex McCarthy.
See, most of those attempts West Bromwich Albion had in the first game came from set pieces.
Yeah, and most came from Carl Bartley. He's being watched by Flynn Downs. Driven in low. There's a plan in all of that. And now it's Brooks who's on his own and leading the charge upfield. He's surrounded. Brooks. Armstrong's up there with him. It's Brooks who went for it just as Armstrong had made the dash forward to support him, and the chance got for Southampton.
Oh, it's an incredible run from David Brooks. It was 1v4. Armstrong, desire, determination. He gave him an out. He offered himself. Brooks took it on himself.
When you've done that kind of work, I guess you're entitled to.
I think by the time he got up there, he would have been blowing a bit, I promise you.
He would not know. There's Harwood Bellis. Intelligent ball looking for Fraser, who made the offer in behind, and again Albion just about come up with the answer.
Yeah, they're making really clever runs. Southampton, all of those forward players. It's good work in the end from Fellows to get back in. Clear the danger.
And it's Tom Fellows who's keeping a watch on Ryan Fraser on that far side. Those two getting to know each other. Fraser just got the better of him initially, but Fellows got back to win the duel. Amongst those gathered in the middle, trying to jostle for position. It's nudge goalwards, and Kipre is there, another Southampton corner.
Yeah, not convincing, is it? Really. Still a bit late for Kipre. Have to find a way, West Brom, of releasing some of this pressure.
Plenty happening again inside the box. Palmer gets to it. Armstrong. Sent in by Brooks. There's Harwood Bellis. To sign him for £20 million should they win promotion. I think it's pretty much a done deal if they win promotion. Here he is again. Sliding in, Downs gets back to his feet. He was not for giving them up.
That was better. That they stepped on as a team, as a unit, all over the pitch there. Bromwich Albion. And maybe that's the best policy, to try and snuff it out at source.
Well, Albion shape off the ball here is 5-4-1. That's how Carlos Corberán is going about this evening. As I mentioned, Tom Fellows pretty much a right wing back on the far side. Donald Furlong part of 3 centre-backs. That's when they don't have the ball.
I think it's what they're doing when they do get the ball that is a little bit of a concern, because they're not doing anything. It's a long night if they're going to sort of be on the back foot the whole way through.
A slip from Dean Garner. The referee again plays the advantage. There's Townsend. Now Mikey Johnston. He wants to step inside, went on the outside that time, and Walker-Peters was not for moving.
Yeah, excellent again, the 2 wide men of West Brom. The problem they've got, the defenders of Southampton, is that they can both go both ways, and that keeps them honest. But when they do go on the outside, as I said, if you don't get the crossing, you mostly get the consolation of a corner.
Well, it's the end where Cal Bartley scored in the league meeting here back in November in Southampton's 2-1 win. He touched it in from point-blank range. Even you couldn't miss that one, Don.
Are you sure?
He's waiting here. Moment with the delivery. Bartley rose. Mowat slammed in and diverted wide in the end. It will be a corner.
Yeah, came off Bednarek, I think. And Bartley, free header, can't find a teammate. But what about this from Alex Mowat? He just smashes it as hard as he can. Bednarek does well to deal with it. The offside flag has just gone up for some mysterious reason.
Well, Albion was set to take the corner, and then the assistance flag went up. I did see Leeds United take the tension out of their semi-final second leg last night and take Norwich out of the equation. David Wagner has since left, which I think was probably always going to be the case, no matter how Norwich City did in the playoffs.
And Leeds United were 2-0 up by this point. And you always knew it wasn't going to be that easy for Southampton tonight.
But this one here is completely different so far. Bednarek. Now Stevens. With Bellis to Walker-Peters. There's Fraser. With Bellis, Fraser again with the dash forward. Again, Fellows was following him.
Do you know, it's brilliant running, because it was about the 4th run that a Southampton player had made. Aribo had made 1 or 2. Fraser then goes. Smallbone started it off, but he just can't control it, Ryan Fraser. But he'll be encouraged that he's making those runs. His teammates are spotting them. And he's one good piece of control from being in.
Yeah, he's making those runs in between Furlong and Tom Fellows. Fellows has got quite a shift on his hands here tonight. He's fighting against relegation to non-league on loan at Crawley last season. And really impressed during his time Crawley, who themselves are in the League Two playoff final on Sunday against Crewe. Walker-Peters. There's Bednarek, the boss on the pitch, according to Russell Martin, in terms of how key he is. Starting Southampton's moves from the back. Harwood Bellis. Walker-Peters. Now Downs. Stevens. Ringo is in space. Stevens tried to smuggle it through. Smallbone. Walker-Peters again. There's Fraser. Aribo. Playoff winner during his time at Charlton. Getting promotion from the third tier to the second. There's Downs. Brooks. Walker-Peters, who's stepped in field.
It's patient, isn't it? Controlled. Southampton.
Well, it's the way they play under Russell Martin, trying to get as many players up the pitch in a structured way as possible, so they can dominate the ball and have as many bodies as possible forward in the attacking third, so they can stay up there.
Yeah, I think what's helping their cause is whenever West Bromwich Albion win the ball back, they're giving it straight back to Southampton.
Brooks with the cross. Gathered in by Palmer.
Just gets that half a yard, bends it in, but delayed. A little bit on his heels, Adam Armstrong.
Here come the home team again with Walker-Peters. From Wallace. Walker-Peters with a step over of his own, but with it himself. Frankie Johnston looking to lead the breakout for Albion. In back by Aribo. And now it's Brooks. Palmer extended, but gets to it.
Well, it's just a matter of time if West Bromwich Albion carry on playing like this. They just cannot keep the ball. When it's Southampton stepping on, winning it back high. They would have wanted to keep things tight, and at the moment, from a defensive point of view, they haven't conceded a goal, but they're very passive in this game so far.
Yeah, he's yet to outwit Russell Martin when the two have met. No wins in 6 against Russell Martin for Carlos Corberán. Russell Martin, who watched back every game that his teams have played against Carlos Corberán sides ahead of the first leg of the playoff.
Controlling possession, and controlling where the possession is. Twice as much action in West Bromwich Albion defensive third as the Southamptons.
Lovely touch from Brooks to Smallbone, who ends up grounded. The referee has brought it back. Southampton felt they had a chance to play on. Bednarek. There's Downs. Aribo. Now Walker-Peters. Kushley tries to step in and step on Downs. Stevens over the head of Armstrong. Fellows with the matter in hand.
Yeah, I just don't think you can get through a whole 90 minutes like this intact, I have to say.
You may notice we have new additions to the touchline at St Mary's for this tonight. Some extra advertising hoardings closer to the pitch than that have been here before. Now, Albion do have a long throw specialist in Darnell Furlong. Southampton have not confirmed that it's got anything to do with that, just merely advertising their foundation. But interesting.
Of course they are. Marginal gains.
Not quite the runway that Darnell Furlong would have been expecting to have.
Well, West Brom haven't had the ball. He hasn't even had a chance, really, to take a long throw into that Southampton penalty area. As I say, it'd be a long night if the pattern of this game continues. They're going to need a bit of luck. They're going to need Alex Palmer to have the game of his life. I just think they need to start just fighting back a little bit, looking after the ball better and offering some kind of a threat going the other way.
Yeah, the message was soon relayed back by the kit staff of Albion to the head coach Carlos Corberán that there were a few extra advertising hoardings around the place. Remember Burnley tried to stop Rory Delap against Stoke a couple of years ago with well, a long time ago actually, with the advertising hoardings. Flynn Downs has a problem here, and that could be a problem for Southampton. He's so important to this team.
I'm looking at his face. He looks concerned, and he'll be concerned because you've already pointed out how important Flynn Downs is to the way this Southampton team play.
It's just given both Southampton and, maybe more importantly right now, West Bromwich Albion the chance for the coaching staff to speak to the players.
I think this is a really important break for West Bromwich Albion. To try and find a way of getting Mikey Johnson and Tom Fellows and Jed Wallace and Dean Garner on the ball a little bit more than they are.
Well, looks like Flynn Downs is okay to continue for now. Player who played under Russell Martin at Swansea. Smallbone. Armstrong turned into Kyle Bartley.
Again, it's an effort from Alex Mowat to pass the ball through the lines and gets intercepted. All of a sudden, Southampton are at you.
Yeah, they've not been able to settle into any kind of rhythm, West Bromwich Albion. That's down to what Southampton have done too. Dean Garner surrounded, but here's Alex Mowat, who's been hunted down, and Armstrong is after this. It's Armstrong, a really important block from Bartley.
They're just off it when they have the ball. They are absolutely off it. West Bromwich Albion in possession. It's a good job they're on it without the ball.
There's Walker-Peters. Southampton the better team so far as we head towards the final 10 minutes of the first 45. Smallbone. Stevens. Now Bednarek. There's a Rebo. Bednarek. Bit of room here for Fraser. Bednarek again. There's Walker-Peters. Now Downs. Driving at Albion. It's Brooks. That's behind of Townsend.
Once again, movement, it's creative, it's dynamic.
As a goalkeeper wants to try and command his penalty area. Could be busy here. Brooks is standing over this. Carried in by Brooks, but the referee has seen something in there, and Albion get the free kick. This is what these two are fighting for tonight. A place in the Championship playoff final, Sunday the 26th of May, a week Sunday, 2 o'clock. Sky Sports Football. Leeds United are already there. Now being flagged offside. There's Smallbone. Martin says he's gone through all the emotions leading into this. Excitement, anxiety, feeling sick.
Yeah, I'm sure I heard the word fear used as well. You wouldn't be a human being if you didn't carry those emotions into an occasion like this. You use them as a positive. And they've been excellent, Southampton.
Yeah, he did walk into a storm here in the summer with players leaving, others expecting to leave, but didn't. Any bids that came in, as long as they hit what Southampton were expecting, were accepted. So from time to time he didn't know which players he'd have left to select from for matches. He settled it down, bedded in a new playing style, and now they're 2 games from a Premier League return. Hierarchy in attendance here. He had 3 job offers in the summer, Russell Martin. He chose this job here. And some of the best football we've seen played in the Championship this season has been played by Southampton.
Oh, absolutely. Incredible unbeaten run.
Yeah, 25 games, 22 in the league, and they still finish 4th.
Those seasons, they don't... Well, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, to be honest with you. The top 4 have just all been brilliant. To accumulate those amount of points, phenomenal effort.
Stevens to Fraser. There's Downs. And squeeze up into the West Bromwich Albion half. Brooks has pulled into a bit of space, and Townsend knew what was happening. Now Mikey Johnston, who has the ability to get Albion up the pitch. He tried to pick out Diangana. But on the retreat was Fraser who got to it.
Jed Wallace is furious because he makes the most fantastic run, and he's chance that he could be in if the ball comes his way, but Johnston went the other way. Poor choice.
There's Brooks. Walker-Peters. Harwood Bellis. Marwood Bellis again as Southampton once again play their patient football and try and tempt Albion out. Ready to catch in any space that's left. Albion do step out now, and this is Flynn Downs. Smallbone. Armstrong is demanding the ball through the middle. Brooks picks up the baton. Bednarek. There's Walker Peters. Home team tiptoeing forward again. Having to fully concentrate to make sure that no gaps do appear. There's Fraser. Walker Peters. And Brooks, Smallbone does react and does get to it. He's found David Brooks. Kipray's in the way. There's Kipray again as Albion look to try and play themselves out of a tight spot.
Well, it's just about getting through to half-time now for Carlos Corberán and his team. I think he'd be reasonably pleased with the out-of-possession stuff, but nowhere near good enough when they've had the ball. Don't look like they could score.
He looks absolutely knackered, Carlos Corberán. He put so much energy into his touchline dances throughout the game. Feels he has unfinished business in terms of the playoffs, having led Huddersfield to the 2022 playoff final in the Championship, where they lost out to Forest, and those decisions which went against Huddersfield, I felt went against them that day. There's Walker Peters. Johnston. Johnston, how did he do that? He's away from Walker Peters and away from Smallbone. He does have magic in his boots, Mikey Johnston. But Southampton looking now to profit from the space left. Fraser. There's Aribo. Stevens. Smallbone. Bednarek. Bromwich Albion once again, they're back in their shape. There's Brooks. We'll have one additional minute at the end of this first half. A tight affair as expected, albeit Southampton have looked the more threatening. There's Walker Peters.
The worry for Southampton is for all the good football, they haven't really carved out too many real clear goal-scoring opportunities.
Kipre going to ground there, it's spun up away from him. There's Smallbone to Aribo. It's Aribo! Couldn't pick out the top corner.
He's possibly got an opportunity to take a strike slightly earlier, maybe somewhere there, but once he slows everything down, much more difficult.
Still, it is deadlock between these two. Goalless on the night, goal is still an aggregate. David Brooks going the closest for Southampton when he struck the post. And Tom Fellows bringing a save of some sort from Alex McCarthy, who had to deal with a cross via the crossbar. Southampton have dominated the ball. Alex Palmer extended just the once, but routine work in the end at the break. Southampton 0, West Bromwich Albion 0.
Arsenal have dragged it to the wire. They will be in it on the final day.
That is a huge moment and could deliver them the Premier League title.
In a football game, everything can happen.
Let's leave one of the most beautiful days and see what happens.
City lead the rest into the final day.
Witness the drama unfold. Sunday, live on Sky Sports.
Football, best served with the crack. Jameson sponsors the EFL on Sky Sports.
What a strike and what a goal!
Oh my goodness! That is incredible! Nuskin was there in the right place at the right time!
What a wonderful goal from Chelsea! Oh, what a strike! Aaron Cuthbert with a cracker!
So for the fight for the WSL title, down to the final day, tune into Sky Sports. Can Emma Hayes sign off at Chelsea with another title win? Second half of our final semi-final of this year's playoffs is coming very shortly indeed. A goal fest at Ellen Road last night, and more tenterfair here on the South Coast. Do not go anywhere. Second half about to get underway. David Brooks going through a strenuous stretching regime ahead of the second period, looking like the man most likely to do the damage for Southampton. West Brom, though, defensively very assured so far. Let me hand you back to your commentary team once again in the second half. Don Goodman, Gary Weaver.
Cheers, David. Me and Don just got injured watching that. And David Brooks. Both teams back out for the second half. No changes by the looks of it. Only one tie in playoff history has ended goalless in both legs, and that was back in 1999, Rotherham against Orient. Carlos Corberan's West Bromwich Albion so far have been doing plenty of work out of possession. Southampton dominating the ball. Southampton will get the second half underway. What do you see changing here, Don, if anything?
Well, I think Southampton, for all their brilliant football, they only have one shot on target in that first half, so they need to just be a little bit more creative in that final third, and West Bromwich Albion have to offer some kind of a threat. I can't see that they can hold out for 45 minutes just sitting deep and blocking up holes, really.
Well, just waiting for a stray football to leave the pitch, and Tim Robinson will get the second half underway. Southampton attacking the northern stand in the second half. That is where the home fans will be housed, using all of that stand behind that goal as of next season. The away fans will be moving to the opposite end of the pitch. Albion fans have travelled in numbers for this second leg tonight, and they're hoping that they've got one more trip to come this season, and that will be Wembley. For the visitors to try and threaten from a set piece here. And they have threatened in the tie so far. They have been from set pieces, but they have been caught offside from that one.
So poor. What's the chance to put the ball into the penalty area where they have a distinct advantage? Mikey Johnston doesn't keep himself onside. Disappointing.
He's had some impact though since arriving on loan from Celtic in January, Mikey Johnston. Once again on the retreat, having to deal with that in front of Fraser. There's Bednarek. Now Harwood Bellis. There's Brooks. Southampton again will go backwards to move forwards. McCarthy. To Walker-Peters. Smallbone. Peters again. Bednarek. There's Chamarimo in a bit of space. Ryan Fraser. Goes in low. Once again. Fellows was in his way.
Yeah, he's been very disciplined, hasn't he, Tom Fellows? Right, working really hard.
These standout performers for Albion this season, certainly since the turn of the year, Tom Fellows. This is Walker-Peters!
The only thing he's going to be a little bit disappointed is he hasn't hit the target, hasn't worked the goalkeeper, so we remain in this match just the one shot on target. It's a good way wide in the end, really.
He's capable of scoring a spectacular goal or two, Kyle Walker-Peters. Kipre needs an option. Palmer provides one. Now Bartley. Pursued by Adam Armstrong, who caught it.
And the movement ahead of the ball from Jed Wallace, really, really good. It's been on point all night, but his teammates just haven't spotted the runs.
Yeah, he may well have reintroduced himself to his teammates at half-time. Jed Wallace has been making plenty of runs in behind, which is why he's in the team. And that's a central striking position, but we've yet to really find him. And Dean Garner's played it straight to Smallbone. Brooks. Smallbone. It's Smallbone! Now the city roars! Southampton closer to achieving what they set out to do. An immediate return to the Premier League. They break cover, they emerge from the shadows, and now West Bromwich Albion have to hunt them down.
Well, it's a mistake, isn't it? Just like last night, Norwich. Mistake after mistake after mistake. It's Grady Dean Garner. I'm not sure what he thinks he's seen there, but surely he sees Will Smallbone. Look, there's an awful lot that has to happen for the ball to end up in the back of the net. He tries to make up for it by getting back, but Smallbone is found by Brooks. Subtle little flick inside, and he's got time to have a couple of little touches. That is a fantastic finish. Bends it into that near post. No chance for Palmer. Look at that for a finish. Unstoppable. Incredible strike. But it all came from a West Bromwich Albion mistake. And he doesn't care. Massive, massive moment.
A player who came through the academy here. A player from Basingstoke who made a big impression on loan at Stoke City last season, now in the red and white of Southampton, and that is a huge moment for Will Smallbone and for this football club. Now Albion have to react.
We're going to see the impact of this extra barrier now because it's a Darnell Furlong time.
Yeah, a reminder, there are advertising hoardings placed closer to the touchline by Southampton here tonight. Perhaps to negate Darnell Furlong's long throws, he doesn't have as much room as he would normally have in terms of running towards the touchline to launch the ball. But Southampton have not admitted it's about that. Plenty happening inside the box. The referee's already had a word or two. Here goes Darnell Furlong, who's still got plenty of distance on that throw. It was interesting when the Albion coaching staff found out about the extra advertising hoardings. They were saying Southampton may be a little bit nervous, a little bit scared of what we can do. In by furlong again. Yakushi was the target, and McCarthy comes for it. He was in command in the first leg of the Hawthorns from the long throws, and he's having to keep an eye on this. And he's dropped it and then pounced upon it with Kipre paying close attention.
Well, he's lucky that it was only Cedric Kipre that was going in. Kipre does well because he knows if he jumps with him, the referee will give him a foul, so he pretends he's going to jump. A little bit clumsy, and McCarthy gets away with it.
Albion's resolve has been broken. And Southampton looking for another one. Palmer steps out of his box. There's Yakushlu. Townsend. Chance for Mikey Johnston to make the run forward. Linking up with Jed Wallace. And that goal may just open this game up now.
That's brilliant defending from Bednarek. It's Jed Wallace stride for stride, but Newman's just gone up in here. Onus very much on his team.
Well, some are silent, others are not in the Albion end, but they are surrounded by a wall of noise from those wearing red and white right now. One of 19 games, conceding first this season. That was a victory at Huddersfield back in March. And there's the chance for Fellows to make an impact. Jed Wallace is up there with it. Fellows, it's behind Wallace. There's a brilliant block in the midst of all that as Mowat arrived. Harwood-Bellis gets the congratulations.
Well, he celebrated like he just scored a goal, didn't he, Taylor Harwood-Bellis? And I can see why. The first time in the game they've asked the question. It is on target. Doesn't know much about it, hits the back of his head. Mikey Johnston's going to be a little bit disappointed in that finish. Doesn't get the clean strike.
Albion's first attempt from open play. What can they do now from a set piece? Bartley trying to lose Downs in the middle. And Bartley gets his head on it, but there was plenty of pushing going on.
Has taken something really special to break this deadlock. They've been good without the ball, West Bromwich Albion, but this is unstoppable. It's laser-guided accuracy off the post. Unstoppable. I'll leave that one to you.
Speechless. That's what it means. A goal which means so much to so many, even a puppet.
Positivity for West Brom when they got Fellows on the ball down the right-hand side, just like in the first leg. The Hawthorns, he was able to get in behind, he was able to get a really good cross into a dangerous area. Maybe Mikey Johnston wishes he could have that opportunity again.
Stevens steps forward. Razor's offside. Well, as team went in the greatest of form towards the end of the campaign, 3 back-to-back defeats before an important last day when it leads, just put a bit of a spring in their step. And Neil Warnock giving him advice to take his players out for a Chinese meal. He said initially he's not that generous, but he did take them out, and he did make sure that there was a good spirit heading in to these potentially 3 massive games. It's gone straight to Aribo. And now Brooks, Kipre slides in, the referee says the ball was won.
Well, like he got a bit of the ball, but did he get David Brooks first? That is the question. I know what the home fans think. Clearly the referee, with his signalling, his motion, feels that Cedric Kipre took the ball. It's a poor clearance from Palmer. It's a good pick out by Aribo. Oh, it's a penalty, isn't it? He hooks him. Hooks that left leg. Watch this. Doesn't get the ball. Goes through that standing leg. It has to be a penalty. Tight one. He's just about onside, but I think West Brom have got away with one there.
Well, Russell Martin was adamant they should have had a penalty in the first half. That one was more of a case. Kipre on Brooks. Stevens. There's Yakushli. Johnston. Albion need a bit of magic from him. Wallace again has made the run beyond, looking to try and stretch the pitch. There's Dean Garner. Darnell Furlong.
Well, it's about trying to pass the ball forwards now, because you can see he hasn't been able to do much of that in this game so far. The wide players, Mikey Johnson needs to see the ball, Tom Fellows, Dean Garner, they have the ability to cause Southampton's problems, but they need to get on the ball in the Southampton half to try and make something happen.
Well, Southampton do have a player down. There's Russell Martin and his assistant McGill. I'm assuming a questioning as to why Tim Robinson didn't give the penalty a few moments ago.
That's exactly right. Understand his frustration, because he would love cushion of another goal. Tim Robinson feels Kipre gets the ball, but he kicks through the back there, look. Comes right through the back of David Brooks. Unfortunately for Southampton, that standing leg is kicked and dragged from underneath. It's a clear penalty, not spotted by the officials.
John Wallace has done well here. But again, Southampton have the answer. Stevens. Walker-Peters. Southampton were part of the Fantastic Four, along with Leeds United, who helped create this wonderful championship promotion fight along with Leicester and Ipswich. Here's Adam Armstrong, who's offside. And he'll be glad he's offside.
Yeah. You're right about the top four. It's the best I've ever seen. We had the best race for automatic promotion until 3 or 4 games from the end. We had 4 teams averaging 2 points a game. That's gone. It was about how Leeds United, how Southampton handled the fact that they were in a playoff situation. Well, Leeds have answered it emphatically, and Southampton have a grip on it.
Yeah, Albion with the best of the rest. They spent 5 months in 5th place, West Bromwich Albion. They nearly lost it all towards the end. They had to make sure they secured their playoff place on the final day in the win against Preston North End. And they have, again, a job to do here. Furlong. There's Dean Garner. Mowat. Townsend. He's gone for the return, Connor Townsend, but Johnston couldn't find him. Armstrong's holding his run here, trying to remain onside as Brooks picks up the baton. Helped out by Walker-Peters. Stevens. There's Aribo. Now Fraser. Aribo made room for the cross, it took a nick, but no problems for Palmer. Brandon Thomas Asante and John Swift have both emerged from the Albion dugout on the far side. It looks like they are about to come on. and Jan Mbila as well. So a triple change is on the way from Carlos Corberán. There's Townsend.
Always nervy times when West Bromwich Albion win a set piece.
So those changes will be made shortly. We're hearing Wallace, Diangana and Yukushlu will be the trio withdrawn. Moment with the corner for Albion. Right in the thick of it, and McCarthy got a touch on that, and it's a big important save as Furlong had a swing.
Oh, the ball just breaks loose, and Darnell Furlong gets a beautiful strike on it as it falls to him, and that is an excellent save. It's McCarthy, that is flying into the roof of the net. Brilliant from the goalkeeper.
In the middle, Bartley. Power in the header in the end.
He's under pressure. They get a free header. It's Flynn Downs does really well engaging Kyle Bartley.
So here come the 3 Albion changes. Diangana withdrawn. John Swift coming on. Brandon Thomas Asante will replace Jed Wallace, and Jan Mbila, former Sunderland midfielder, comes on for Okay Yukushlu. Carlos Corberán has reacted. Now he needs the reaction on the pitch. For Ryan Fraser. Ryan Manning being readied. Oh, Russell Martin. Number 5, Russell Martin here from Swansea. Ryan Manning will replace Ryan Fraser, whose night is over.
West Bromwich Albion complaining because the referee, Tim Robinson, he did instruct Ryan Fraser to leave the pitch at the other side, and Ryan Fraser just ignored him. But he said to the West Bromwich Albion players, I'll be adding every second on, so don't worry about it.
So Fraser's race is run. On comes Ryan Manning, who did start the first leg after Hawthorns on Sunday.
Well, you can see they've left 2v2 or 3v3 West Bromwich Albion. It is a full court press now. They have to try and win the ball back.
And Southampton lifted over that press for Brooks. Manning involved in the action immediately. There's Bednarek. Harwood Bellis. Smallbone. Whose goal is the decisive moment in this tie so far. Fellows. There's Mowat. Jan Villa played under Carlos Corberán at Olympiacos, and he initially lost possession there, then strongly won it back. There's Smallbone. Adam Armstrong. There's Downs. Brooks. Aribo. McCarthy. He has replaced Gavin Bazunu between the posts for Southampton since Gavin Bazunu's horrific Achilles injury here in the warm-up against Preston North End towards the end of the season. Gavin Bazunu is so key to what Southampton do in terms of the build-up from the back. McCarthy's have to step into those boots. There's Smallbone. Poke through, Adam Armstrong, flag is up. Goal won't count.
Yeah, they're so disciplined in terms of keeping a line, West Bromwich Albion, because it is hard when you've got runners, but he's always ahead of the ball. Adam Armstrong never quite gets back.
Furlong. There's Fellows. Experienced Jan Villa. Darnell Furlong. Fellows again. Thomas Asante. Difficult to get onto that spot of bother. And Villa. Foul on Swift. Despite the protests of Harwood Bellis, who's adamant he won that cleanly.
Plenty enough of the ball. To be fair, understand the frustration. They've got a couple of brilliant options here. He's right on the limit of exactly where you would take a strike from.
Swift having a look, Mowat's there as well. McCarthy's making sure his wall's in place so he's not caught out from this kind of position. It's left to Swift, keeper at the far post. The flag is up.
Yeah, it's a lovely ball. It's about keeping your discipline, making sure you stay on side. And he's well offside. That's the timing all wrong.
Southampton are closing in on the Championship playoff final and a date with Leeds United, who they've beaten twice this season. That will mean nothing when it comes to that one-off game at Wembley, should Southampton get there.
I said in the first half, when they were really passive in possession of the ball, that set piece would be the best avenue. 12 of the 19 attempts across the two legs so far. And West Bromwich Albion have come from set pieces.
There's Fellows. It's Swift, who was surrounded. Mowat finds Darnell Furlong. Fellows again. Swift once more. Mowat. Jan Villa. It's Darnell Furlong. Fellows tries to pick up the baton. Furlong again. There's Mowat. Albion's turn to pen Southampton in, but not for long.
Oh, good little spell. I mean, look, it has really genuinely taken them conceding a goal for West Bromwich Albion to really offer anything. And since then, they have. And one or two little threats. Big chance for West Brom was the Mikey Johnston one. But they're spending a lot more time in Southampton's half of the pitch, that's for sure.
Yeah, they have have had injury issues to their front line this season. West Bromwich Albion, Daryl DK again being injured at Ipswich Town. Josh Maja, who has returned in recent weeks, but Carlos Corberán doesn't deem fit enough to be part of the squad for these playoffs. He's been out too with a serious ankle injury. Albion needs someone to step up. There's Smallbow. Now Brooks. Changes on the way here, one for each team. Connor Townsend is withdrawn and Adam Reach will replace him, so that should be a straight swap at left back. Connor Townsend, who's had a miserable time in the playoffs during his time at Scunthorpe Hands with West Bromwich Albion. And for Southampton, off goes David Brooks, who's been one of the stars of the show here tonight. And Sam Adozie replaces him.
Yeah, he has been outstanding, David Brooks, he really has.
So Adozie on to add his threat down the wings for Southampton, and David Brooks withdrawn. Will his next game be at Wembley? Mowat. Thomas Asante taken out. Russell Martin does admit they're finishing fourth in the Championship with the third biggest budget in the league this season. Might be seen by some as a failure, but the big prize is still there.
Judge it right at the end of the season. All the football has been played. See where they end up.
Armstrong is linked up with Manning. There's Stevens. Asante almost got to it. This is Harwood Bellis. His uncle is the president of Stockport County, who've enjoyed their promotion this season. Walker Peters, lovely spin. He was taken out, and Smallbow was taken out. So definitely a free kick for Southampton.
Yeah, take your pick. Try to play advantage. The first one, Tim Robinson.
Cedric Kipre, the recipient of the yellow card.
Two pieces, beautiful skill. Walker Peters and Smallbow both taken out.
It's Alex Mowat who the referee has shown the card to.
Yeah, that was for the Smallbow challenge then.
Southampton are looking to try and finish this off. Manning and Smallbow, the two who are interested in this. St Mary's expectant. It's Manning! Now it's over the top.
We've seen him do a lot better than that, haven't we, over the course of his career. But you're right, it's all about everybody connected with Southampton would rest a lot easier if they just had the cushion of another goal.
We trained here last night to get a feel for this, the occasion. Nothing could replicate the noise that the fans produced here, particularly at the start of the game. There are still 2,000 Albion fans away to our left who are hoping that there will be a twist in these final 15 minutes or so. Our Albion season is over. Driving run by Downs, Adam Armstrong to his left. Adam Armstrong! One giant step towards the Premier League from Adam Armstrong. That now should seal Southampton's place in the Championship playoff final. He's been doing it all season, but his biggest moment yet.
Well, if anybody this season deserves to be a hero tonight for the season they've had, it's that man there. What a season he has had. All of a sudden he's become so much more of a team player than he was at Blackburn Rovers. He's a better player, but he's still got a goal in him. I mean, it's a beautiful strike. Always difficult for goalkeepers when a ball goes through the defender's legs, but it's so precise. It's powerful, it's accurate, it's into the corner. No chance for Alex Palmer. And it's a mountain that West Bromwich Albion are going to have to climb now.
He's determined to get back to the Premier League, to prove himself as a Premier League player. They are dreaming of Wembley now. Albion flawed. Southampton have been the better team, the more threatening team. And right now, it's they who will come face to face with Leeds United in the Championship playoff final at Wembley, unless something dramatic happens in these last 12 minutes or so.
Well, all they need to do now from this point, Southampton, is do what they're best at, and that's keep the ball. Heartbreak. West Bromwich Albion fans, I think they have to admit their team have been second best tonight. Always going to be up against it.
Like it'll be tears in the playoffs again for West Bromwich Albion. But Southampton's journey goes on.
I just think you've got to say to Tom Fellas and Mikey Johnson, just stay up the pitch now. Stay high up the pitch. Because you might as well lose 3 and not have a proper go.
Armstrong's on the move again here. Playing again tonight where he wants to play, through the middle. He spent most of the season playing on the right. At times he's played as a number 8, an attacking midfielder under Russell Martin this season. But that's where he wants to be, right through the middle, making those runs in behind. And he's never afraid to shoot with either foot, no matter where he is on the pitch.
The game plan was to come here, frustrate, be tight, hard to break down. They were for an awful lot of this game, but without really ever causing Southampton problems at the other end of the pitch.
Andy Vyman's just been summoned by Carlos Corberán, the striker on loan at Albion from Bristol City, released by Bristol City. It's a great ball over the top, and Reach has made his way forward. He's no stranger to spectacular finishes, but couldn't quite do the job there. Came out of nothing.
Oh, what a run, what a ball. Alex Mowat, it's the hardest technique in football. It's coming across you, dropping out of the sky. Not a million miles wide.
That was the final act for Alex Mowat, who was replaced by Andy Vyman. Albion have to go for it here now. Is for Alex Mowat at West Bromwich Albion. He's one of those players whose deal is up at the end of this season. to end in tears for Albion here tonight. A small bonus caught. The card showed to Swift.
Punches in, easy decision for the referee.
Well, the save is to end for Albion tonight. Cannot underestimate the work that Carlos Corberán has done at the Hawthorns in trying, testing circumstances with what was going on off the pitch.
It's worked a miracle. It really has to get them fifth. The only team in the top six not to spend a single penny on recruitment, all free transfers and loans. So to get them here has been a massive, massive overachievement.
Yeah, the right head coach at the right time for West Bromwich Albion to deal with what he's had to deal with.
You look at what's going on off the pitch now, and it looks so much more stable, so much more positive for West Bromwich Albion.
Well, Southampton looking for a big finish here. There's Walker Peters. Aribo, Stevens. Martin admits at times his football can be divisive. He doesn't really know why it is so. Right now, playing this way, looks to have taken Southampton to within one game of the Premier League, and there could be more to come yet tonight. Stevens driving forward. Armstrong's gone down off the ball. The referee has played the advantage. Stevens, Manning arriving on the scene, but was surrounded. Another penalty claim, and that one is given. West Bromwich Albion opened up and they paid the price again.
Well, of all the players in Southampton stripes to be driving with the ball on a mazy run, you didn't think it'd be the skipper, and he's aware Ryan Manning is there. It's Fellows is desperately trying to get back, has a little lunge. Looks like Manning may have already been going down. Southampton don't care.
Well, Adam Armstrong has a 100% record from the spot this season, 4 out of 4. Up against Alex Palmer, who saved 3 penalties this season. This to start the party for sure at St Mary's. Adam Armstrong! Southampton are tearing into West Bromwich Albion and tearing up Albion's promotion dream. For Southampton, Wembley is next, and they will get their shot at Premier League redemption.
Well, I don't think over the 2 legs anybody can deny. Absolutely deserve it. Been excellent from the first minute tonight, all the way through. They've dominated a very good West Bromwich Albion team, as they should, some would argue, given the 12-point difference between the teams. But as far as penalties go, doesn't really get much better than that. Power and accuracy, no chance for Palmer. And they are on their way to Wembley.
They came to party, he is partying. He's been watching you, Dan.
He's been watching you.
I could never do that. Well, they've invested around about £200 million in the Southampton Football Club. What happened last season was not in the script. They've had to piece themselves back together. It's not done yet. Leeds United will have a huge say, of course, at Wembley. That is one huge game to come. It always is. But the names of Leeds United and Southampton will be on the Championship playoff final guest list. They'll be there.
I'm sure he'll be there as well. It looks emphatic, doesn't it? 3-0, but they have been made to work for it tonight.
There's Jan M'Vila. Darnell Furlong. He produced that big save from Alex McCarthy earlier on in this half.
Well, there was two moments, wasn't there? That was one, and it was the Mikey Johnson opportunity. Almost scuffed his shot a little bit into the ground, didn't he? Hit the head of Taylor Harwood-Bellis, but those were the two moments Bromwich Albion might look back on with a little bit of regret.
So Russell Martin, it looks like, will be going up against his former manager, as Kipré is yellow carded that time by the referee. But he and Daniel Farke have a little bit of history together at Norwich City. Russell Martin didn't have a fallout with Daniel Farke at all, but he felt his departure from the club could have been handled a little bit better. They just have a little bit of an edge, if a playoff final needs an edge.
Well, I think there'll be an edge, okay.
Changes on the way here. Joe Aribo is off, and on comes Shea Charles. So Joe Aribo, Wembley winner during his Charlton days in the League One playoff final. Look at his shot at Wembley again. And also leaving the scene is Will Smallbone. Joe Rockwell comes on for him. Smallbone, whose goal lit up this place. Such an important moment in Southampton's season.
Oh, incredible strike as well.
And it's Downs. Walker-Peters takes the hit from Mikey Johnston. We'll have 7 additional minutes.
Saints fans don't like that number.
Well, let's not forget, Southampton beat Leeds here, 3-1. An important result that for Russell Martin. He was under immense pressure back in September, having lost 4 in a row. And then on the final day, they beat Leeds at Ellen Road.
The start of their unbeaten run, wasn't it?
This is Darnell Furlong. Now Fellows has Swifter for support. Yeah, again on the road was a strange occasion because of what was happening at Portland Road on the final day. And Southampton played really well at Ellen Road on the final day.
It's going to be fascinating, isn't it, to see. Moved to a back three that day at Ellen Road, didn't they? What will they do at Wembley?
Darnell Furlong. Albion will keep fighting right till the end here. Swift to deliver the corner. Kipré and Bartley both rising. There's Mikey Johnston. Swift to deliver again, and McCarthy It's down to that. Andy Van.
Yeah, I think it was comfortable in the end. I don't think there was any real power on this header. Ryman, anticipated by Alex McCarthy.
So Southampton trying to get to the Premier League. The Premier League's final day. Manchester City against West Ham. Super Sunday, live 3 o'clock. Sky Sports main event. City with the title in their sights. Jurgen Klopp's farewell. Liverpool against Wolves. 3 o'clock on Sky Sports Premier League. And Chelsea against Bournemouth. 4 o'clock. Sky Sports Football. And Villa. Darnell Furlong. There's Downs to Rothwell. Russell Martin feels this Southampton team have been at their best when they've had 7 days to prepare for games this season, and their record will tell you that, apart from the hammering at Sunderland after the transfer window shut. They will have just over a week to prepare for the biggest game of the campaign.
Another yellow card there.
Yeah, Jan and Villa shown it.
It's descent, isn't it? You can understand the frustration. It was always going to get to that point.
Well, the Albion fans away to our left have stayed in their numbers. Not the end to the season that they were hoping for, obviously, but as we said before, the best of the rest finishing 5th, and stayed 5th for 5 months.
Yeah. There are brighter days ahead for the West Bromwich Albion fans. I'm pretty sure about that. Hopefully, Carlos Corberán will be backed in the summer.
Got that takeover done. Shilan Patel buying the club, particularly when you consider that the parachute payments ended before the season began. There is Shilan Patel watching on. An investor also in Bologna, who are 3rd in Serie A, heading towards the top European competition next season. But his first love right now is West Bromwich Albion. And as I mentioned, so important they got that takeover done.
Yeah, and I think we need to just add, in terms of the tactics by Carlos Corberán, it was probably the only way that West Bromwich Albion were going to have a chance of winning this game. To try and be solid.
Well, the referee was just waiting to see how that played out, and Charles ended up grounded. And the home fans around us rising up. Been some support here tonight.
Yep, and very early on, got the atmosphere going, did a grand job of it.
I've not seen a bus welcome like that around here before when the Southampton team bus arrived.
Well, I've been to this stadium many times and watched the successful Southampton teams that got promoted from League One and the Championship into the Premier League. I don't think I've ever heard St Mary's quite like this.
Carrying their team home. Rescue there from Harwood Bellis. There's Thomas Asante. Fellows. This has been his breakthrough season. Breaking past Manning there. Johnston with the corner. Kipre has managed to find a way through. And West Bromwich Albion fans with something to celebrate right at the end of this playoff tie, but too little and too late.
Well, it was high on the list of ways that West Bromwich Albion were going to score, wasn't it? A set piece, as simple as you like. Corner, header, excellent header, and it is just a consolation.
The least celebrated goal in football history, potentially. But a stand of defiance towards the end from Cedric Kipre and West Bromwich Albion. One more hurdle jumped by Southampton. Next, it's the biggest, the toughest, the most high profile. Get it right, and they will get everything they wanted. Tonight, they got it right. Southampton breaking through with a wonderful strike from Will Smallbone. Then the second from Adam Armstrong, his most important goal yet, to give them breathing space in this tie. And then he smashed home the third from a penalty. Cedric Kipre with a stand of defiance from him and West Bromwich Albion right at the end. But Southampton were the better team, and they will be at Wembley to face Leeds United.
Yep, they were the better team, there's no doubt about that. Even the staunchest West Bromwich Albion fan would have to admit it's been a masterclass really tonight. They were patient, they had to be, and eventually it took something special to break down a really resilient West Bromwich Albion team. But they get the rewards of a day out at Wembley, but they don't just want it to be a day out at Wembley, if you know what I mean.
So two of the Fantastic Four will meet at Wembley. One ticket left to the Premier League. It's going either to Leeds United or to Southampton. Southampton are through to the Championship playoff final.
How long? Really is as simple as that, isn't it? Southampton with a shot at redemption to get themselves back into the Premier League at the first time of asking. 3 and relatively easy barring that late Cedric Kipre goal for West Brom. They were very composed in the second half. They were in control of the game once they took the lead. Will Smallbone scored, and a brace, of course, from Adam Armstrong. He's been red hot this season, 23 goals for him. West Brom's season finishes here on the south coast. The Saints march on to the home of football and a shot in the Championship playoff final. Let's take a look at what that means, of course. That win here tonight at St Mary's means your Championship playoff final. The biggest game in domestic football is this one, Leeds United against Southampton, 2 p.m. Sunday, the 26th of May, Sky Sports Football. Before then, though, we've got some big games. We've got the League One playoff final tomorrow. Bolton taking on Oxford, 3:30. Your coverage begins, Sky Sports Football. And on Sunday, it's League Two's turn, Crawley against Crewe. That's a midday on Sky Sports Football as well. And of course, these are the only heavyweight clashes occurring this weekend on Sky Sports.
Well, we know how dramatic these playoff games can be, Fraser, but the excitement on the ground here, the undisputed heavyweight title. Can you believe it's almost upon us?
I can believe it, Andy, because we're here. It's finally happening. The boxing fan in me is so excited, and everyone else that I'm seeing, and I'm feeling the energy. The boxers look primed and ready. I think we're in for something special, and I cannot wait.
Live on Sky Sports box office on Saturday night. We can't wait.
British heavyweight Fraser Clark and our very own Andy Scott have had their say on a history-making bout for the ages. Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk clash for the undisputed world heavyweight title live on Sky Sports box office on Saturday evening in Riyadh at 4 p.m. Available to Sky residential customers in the UK and Ireland, Virgin Media and EETV customers. Please contact your operator. Go to skysports.com/box office for more information. Well, Sky Sports just got even better, bringing you over 50% more sport this year with new live streams of Back to tonight and Back to the Sky Bet Championship. They are jumping for joy down here on the south coast at St Mary's. 3-1 they've beaten West Brom in this semi-final second leg, throwing shapes all the way to the playoff final.